So hi guys, you just saw a little bit of a video there. The first bits were actually in the RX10 Mark IV, shot at 500 frames per second. So the explosions of the fireworks, that was the RX10 Mark IV. Unfortunately, they've never put an HFR mode on the high-end mirrorless cameras, which is a shame because that would be really cool if we could do stuff like that. Anyway, all the other video clips there were shot at 4K. 1/25 of a second, so 25p. Worked really well, nice and clean. Shooting at I think ISO 1000, something like that. All the rest of these shots here, you can make your mind up really. They are all straight out of the camera, bar a couple which I'll point out. The exposure, shot in manual, and obviously you've got the EVF, which is giving you a live view of what everything's going on, so you can literally just keep an eye on that. Using the torch light as obviously the light source, it gave a really nice sort of view and sort of warm feeling to the images. The eye autofocus was working pretty well. It was getting a bit confused obviously because some of the makeup and everything wasn't all that, it sort of loses the face shape, so sometimes it wouldn't, so I ended up going to spot focus, like the small spot, and obviously focusing like that sometimes. But some of the time it was working pretty well. Obviously, like this gentleman here, straight on his eyes, no problem at all. Even though the light, the torch lights and everything was so sort of vivid and bright that the camera didn't even worry about that at all. Even when videoing, you could see the eye autofocus working on the video. It was absolutely amazing watching it just zip around. But what it did do was actually move focus points quite a lot. So it was obviously picking a new face and recognising a new eye, and it was just in and out all over the place. So ideally, I think if I'm shooting this sort of thing again, I'll just either turn off eye autofocus or literally just spot focus and just focus hold it basically. Side eye autofocus on the side of the eye, even through glasses, this guy here, no problem at all. But yeah, it worked really well. Shooting up on these images here, we're shooting up to ISO 3200. This road is really dark, with no torchlight at all. It was really dark, and you know the shadows and everything are there, but actually not bad images at all. I was shooting around about sort of ISO yeah, I think it was ISO 1000, 1250 I think it is, and then sort of 1600, then right up to 3200. This one here was ISO 3200. It did get a bit noisy because it was actually that dark there that I decided actually it's better in black and white, and also I think the colour, the white balance didn't look all that amazing. As you can see, it's quite dark on the right hand side there. These shots here are kind of cool. So they laid down a load of bangers onto the ground, and he lights them. And this is where I had to work really quickly. So to try and get the exposure correct on explosive bangers going off, which you'll see in a second. So that's him just banging his stick just to create some to get it sort of lit properly and everything. You'll see these shots here. So the first few, my exposure is blown out because obviously I didn't know how big explosion it was going to be, and so I'm quickly dialing it. And obviously I'm doing quite a few shots here, and then again blown out, which is a shame. And then by the time I've started dialing it in now, and you'll see in a second that actually I started to get it better, but it's still blowing out slightly there. And the next shot is where I got it sort of bang on. Which is really cool. Really pleased with this shot here. Managed to get the, you know, so you can actually see the detail of the explosion. Yes, up at the top, the sort of the crosses or whatever with the lit and everything, they're blown out a little bit, but then you look at that one there, it looks good. So it is a bit hit and miss. You're dealing with things here that are changing all the time. These people are walking quite quickly. The explosions are happening all over the place. They're bashing around stuff on the floor just to create kind of cool sparks and stuff like that, which work really nicely, but also gives you light onto the faces of people. It's really cool. The bonfire season in East Sussex, which is obviously south of London, it happens every year, and it's really big. So we have loads and loads of bonfires all over the place, and people dress up. These are all groups of people from different places that basically have their own societies, and they all have their different outfits and things like that, and it looks really good, and it really adds to the shots here. Autofocus working on this shot really well. And this guy here he looked something out of I was trying to think of what it was, sort of like a vampire movie or something. It was awesome, but I autofocused straight on there, ignored everything else. Torches and stuff all over the place, smoke everywhere. So this is where I was wondering as well how well the focusing system would work through smoke. No troubles at all really, and it did get really smoky at one point. Trying to be a little bit artistic, getting down on the ground as they're walking past. You've only got seconds. You've just got to let the camera do its thing and help you, because having the eye autofocus and the fast autofocus systems and instant preview, unlike a DSLR unless you're on live view, it really helps you get the shots that you wanted in a short period of time, because you have no, once they've walked past, that's it. You've got a few seconds, boom, gone. So these are all shot with the A7R4 with the with the 35mm Samyang f1.4 lens, and it works really well. No trouble at all with focusing whatsoever. No hunting. This one here, this shot here, straight on his eyes, and another shot here, same gentleman, as you can see there. Ignored the torch that's flaming away. Straight on his eye, no trouble at all. That's worked really well. I was quite impressed with this shot actually, how well it worked. But yeah, really happy with how the shots are. Relatively clean. I was impressed on how well it did do. I know it's not going to be quite as good as an A9, and I know it's not going to be on par with the A7 III. But I don't see much difference really in the real world between the A7R3 and the A7R4. These shots I was really happy with. Not worried too much with a little bit of grain. A little bit of noise occasionally, and you can tweak it anyway if you need to. It's but I've kind of left these alone really, bar a couple of shots where I've just tweaked the white balance because it decided to have a bit of a moment, and they sort of went a bit more tungsten rather than sort of a warmer light, but I don't really know why. But pretty good with how well it worked. This is actually where I was shooting burst, and actually someone else's flash went off, so I actually managed to use their flash in the shot. So the lighting is from someone else's flash gun. This is where they put the torches out. All the steam went up, and the clock tower obviously looked a bit interesting, sort of like a low cloud. Here's a load more bangers and stuff going off, and I think it was a flare possibly, that's why it's all red. As you can see, it's relatively good. I mean, considering what you see there, you can see that's all smoke. It's absolutely fine. With everything from Vikings, Romans to old, sort of Second World War outfits to everything. It was really good. Old army things from sort of a long time ago. And here's one of the fireworks shots, shot with the A7R4, and that's a heavy cropping as well. So just shows you how good it can do. Any questions obviously about the camera, please ask, and obviously don't forget to click the notification bell and subscribe. That'd be fantastic. Any questions, comments, anything like that, feel free. But just obviously please make it constructive. There's no point trolling about stuff. At the end of the day, if you want to buy the camera, you do. If you don't, buy something else. It doesn't bother me at all. I'm doing this for my own, to show you what it can do, and as a memory for myself. So anyway guys, I'll hopefully see you soon, and be some more videos coming along in the near future.